It is the Riot Podcast, the pre-Super Bowl Friday edition of the Riot Podcast.
I think everybody's ready to just run out and make some dip.
Yeah.
Some chips. And it's not even Sunday, but it doesn't matter.
That's all I want is some liquified cheese right now.
I want pre-chips.
Yeah.
I want a pre-game.
Let's pre-game the chips,
Nothing wrong with that.
Get started early, and then you'll be ready for the game on Sunday.
Actually, don't get started too early because then you won't have any chips left for Sunday.
Yes.
You're going to have to buy 2 bags of them.
Well, in the podcast today, there's definitely a lot of Super Bowl talk, and it's an Isaiah-heavy show.
Per usual.
Congratulations.
I know. Such a great Friday. I
you
feel like
happy?
on Fridays are a good day.
When
that
you
it's
shine.
a lot of you not being ridiculed. It's not that, but just like questioned concerning your cookie eating skills.
So coming into the podcast, I was thinking right before like you turned the mic on, I was like, what I'm going to try to do throughout this podcast is not get worked up again, I'm not gonna get worked up again.
Don't get mad.
I'm not gonna get worked up again. But I will say, I think that's perfect. I stand strong with my opinion that I think the Oreo cookie, the actual chocolate part, just isn't as strong of a ingredient as the icing
inside.
is. And I may eat them in a weirder way than some people do.
I'm glad
will not
you admit
lie.
that.
Coming into it,
Don't start, Hudson.
I did think that was a pretty regular way to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was outside the box. Like when I was doing it, probably on the stream, in my mind,
It's outside the box.
people were like, "Oh yeah, that's one way to eat them," But I didn't expect the backlash that I got.
Yeah.
Well, you'll find out when you get to, we do a food fight with the new Chocolate Confetti Oreos for the birthday edition from Oreo for their 110th birthday. So we did a Riot food fight, and it just snowballs from there.
Yeah.
As it
Enjoy
always
it.
does.
We can't
Exactly.
just simply enjoy Oreos.
Nope, not
And
at
they were
all.
good
Not in
though.
this-
They
not in
were
this
so
studio.
good. I feel like it really went over the top of how good they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were very good.
I don't think those will last long in the break room.
No.
Yeah, I think I
and
need
they're
to
good
save some.
enough. Sometimes you can take a little baggie home.
Yeah, I think I might do that. I think I might do that. Save them for Sunday for
Oh,
when I'm
yeah.
allowed to eat
oh my
all
gosh,
that I
like
want.
an Oreo dip. Have you ever had
Ooh,
that?
I've never had that, but that sounds so good.
And then you could dip like graham crackers and other stuff into it, pretzels and all that.
Dunkaroos.
I think we're the hungriest we've
No.
ever
I know.
been.
I'm so ready for the
We're just
food
going to
for
be the
Sunday.
worst on Monday after
We
we've
are.
eaten so much on Sunday.
Monday's going to be a terrible show. I already
yeah,
know I'm going to be so
100%.
tired on Monday. But we also talked about this. Is something that I heard you guys talking about. And I, as a child, despised the seatbelt, as I feel like most children do.
Oh, you didn't like to
What?
wear it?
I hated the seatbelt. I hated having to wear the seatbelt. Where now, I don't even think about wearing it. Like, it's just so automatic. But I remember as a child just despising the
Just
seatbelt.
fighting it.
I didn't want to wear it so
I didn't
bad.
say
I
it-
wish I felt safe.
I didn't say it on air, but I'll wear my seatbelt, but I don't like the strap.
You don't like the
Oh,
over
yeah.
the top.
And so I got pulled over, I don't know, like maybe a year or so ago. And that was the last time. And I was speeding like by maybe, I don't know, 2,
20.
3. No, it was only a couple because he didn't even give me a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
And then I was wearing just not the strap on the seatbelt. And so he dinged me for that. But I was like, as long as it wasn't it was less than the speeding ticket. And it was just a warning thing.
I have
so.
a weird thing of when I'm driving, I'll wear my seatbelt. But I find it very uncomfortable for whatever reason, if I'm a passenger in the car.
Yeah.
And I have to ride in the back. I always want to ride on the passenger side, not the driver's side, because I don't like buckling in with the seatbelt
The left side.
over that side. Unless I'm driving, I'm okay with it. But if I'm not
Really?
driving, for some reason, I find that very uncomfortable.
Dude,
That's
I want you to
weird.
get pulled over and
It's so
explain
weird,
that
isn't
to
it?
the police officer.
That is
Yeah,
weird. That's really weird.
But when I'm driving, I'll wear it.
You're fine.
and I don't even notice. But if I'm sitting directly behind the driver,
Yeah.
I won't do it.
See, I'll sit if I'm sitting in the back, I'm sitting middle seat every time.
Really?
Middle?
I will sit middle
On the hump?
Whether there's 3 people back there, 2, just myself, I will sit middle no matter what. 'Cause I
Well,
like to be able
Actually,
to-
you know what? If you're
Did you have
solo
to
back
do that
there,
when
I
you were
get
a
it.
kid and that's what you just got used to?
No.
Because you have a lot of siblings.
I have 2 brothers, but I see that is true because I always
You
did
always
find
got the
myself in the
worst seats.
middle. I'm
So
the
you
middle
just got
child.
used to it.
That would make sense. But I also love the
You
middle.
probably started calling the hump to make sure to make it feel like you weren't getting screwed.
I'll sit in the middle that way because I feel like a lot of times if there's 2 people in the front and you're
Yeah.
sitting in the middle seat, then you feel like you're you're able to like talk with them,
Yes.
interact a little more.
That's why I think if you're
I'm,
solo,
like,
you
leaning
spread your
up.
legs out. You know,
I
you
can
got
see
some
through the
space.
front windshield. It's almost like I'm in the front, and I'm just able to lean over and be like right there in the middle of the conversation. You know, it's almost like I'm in the front.
I can get with you on that, but when you're not, when there's
the car's
two,
open with the other seats.
yeah, you want one of the side
See,
seats.
weird.
and also, like if I'm on a road trip, I'll still sit middle because I'm not afraid to like do the rest the head on the shoulder.
Oh,
yeah.
People always get mad at me if I'm in the back seat of the car with them because I'm not afraid to lay myself across you.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden my head's on your chest, I'm taking a little nap while you guys are resting on the window. It's just if you're in the middle seat, you get some of those privileges. You know?
Get some extra
Keep
stuff.
that in mind if we ever do a riot road trip.
No,
Oh,
if
this
we
side,
ever
I'm in the
do
middle.
that, I hate the middle so much that I'll take another car.
Well, why
you
don't you
will
just
ride
drive? Why
alone.
don't you just
We'll
drive?
ride alone in
Because
another
You're right
car.
by yourself.
if we ever do a riot road trip for whatever reason, all I can tell you is you guys don't want me to drive.
I'll drive because I get
Why?
motion sickness.
Are you a bad driver?
People are not comfortable with me driving.
What?
I haven't been in an accident or had any issues in years, but
You're just
But
a
there's
bad
been
driver.
concern.
people
aren't you?
don't like me. Nope, they don't like my driving.
How does that make you
I'll do
feel?
it.
It makes me feel fine because I don't like driving. So-
Okay.
So listen-
you're
I mean,
okay
I don't
with it.
mind driving alone, but
I'll drive. You're in the passenger seat.
Uh-huh.
You're in the back
call it
middle.
hum- oh,
Okay,
okay,
you get it? You get
Got
the
it.
back
everybody
middle.
gets what they want.
Yeah, perfect.
Sounds like we've organized everything perfectly.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. Like we mentioned somewhere in here, if you're having any plans for Sunday for the Super Bowl, text us and let us know what you did, what your setup is, because we're looking forward to see some of that when we come back in on Monday. And you can just text to say hi at 877-2RadioU because we got a lot of feelings and thoughts going around in
It's
this
a big one today.
podcast. So you can jump in and let us know what your thing is.
And we will catch you next time.
Okay, have a
See you
good
guys.
weekend.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, of course, Valentine's Day. It is. It's coming up on Monday, and we've talked about how there's all those zoos that will let you get revenge on your ex by naming a cockroach after them, and that's something where I always think you're like maybe you just need to let it go. Maybe it's.
Don't tell the person that.
I think
not
that
yet.
that person. What you know? What the old saying? They're living in your head rent free. If you're naming a cockroach after them, taking up space in your head, and you don't need that. So let it go. But this is actually
Yes.
revenge.
Tell them to let it go and see how that goes.
It's not going to help. What is
then- Suddenly, every zoo's like, why are all these cockroaches called Hudson? You're the one not in favor.
Oh, come on. Why is that going to make you feel better? It's not hurting the other person.
Everybody heals
If you
want
want
to
get revenge, you actually do something that puts
Bigger?
it on the other person. Yeah. And so this is great. There are sheriff's departments across the country that are calling on you if you've got an ex that you don't like and you think maybe they have some outstanding warrants.
Oh, you could
Maybe they
call?
might be driving around with drugs in their car.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you report them? And that can be your revenge, and that'll be some revenge right there.
That's fantastic. That's like the real stuff. That means they really made you mad.
Oh yeah, and you probably shouldn't have been with them maybe in the first place.
Yeah.
This is it's so I guess a lot of police departments have been copying and pasting and then slightly altering with their own variations, like across the country, of a similar thing where it says this Valentine's month-long special starts off with a set of limited edition platinum bracelets, free transportation with a chauffeur, a one-night minimum stay in luxurious accommodations, and professional glamour shots that will be posted online for all to enjoy.
And if you didn't catch, that means handcuffs. You stay overnight in jail.
Yeah.
You get your mug shot. You get all the best stuff this weekend.
And you get the police escort to jail. Oh, man. So that is a way to get revenge on your ex. Although, not saying that you shouldn't report them, because if they have outstanding warrants, you probably should. But what happens when they get out of jail? And then they know you did it.
Well, they don't necessarily know. They might have their suspicions, but it's not like they'll tell you at jail, oh, your ex called in.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
You should maybe just skip town, though, just to be safe. You
Just
think?
be out of town.
Start over, new life, new name. Then it still feels like you're the one that's getting screwed in the situation, not your ex who screwed you over.
Well, if not, why don't you just enjoy this weekend? And I'm sure they'll get caught anyways.
Yeah.
Eventually.
No, we can't say that.
What do you mean?
You can't just say, I'm sure they'll get caught anyways.
Well,
if you see something, say something.
Yeah, but if they have a warrant
If everybody does what you're saying, then all these criminals get to run free.
Okay.
You need to report if they're driving around with drugs in their car.
All right. Thank you, Hudson, for this very important
Even
reminder.
if it might cost you something once they get set free and they track you down to exact their revenge.
You have this weekend all planned for everybody.
Right.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty. But get this. He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
We don't often bring up basketball.
No.
But that tells you how big of a deal this deal was.
So once we're done with all the football stuff, like,
Yeah.
are we into basketball?
I don't know. Isaiah, are you into basketball?
I am into
NBA
basketball,
style.
but it's different because in basketball there's so many games, so each game doesn't
Some
really
might
matter.
say too many.
Yeah, there's 82 games, so it's a lot. But yesterday was the NBA trade deadline, which is a big deal because that's just pretty much teams swapping players before the end of the season so they can make their big playoff push. I'm into playoff basketball a lot. I'm also
Right.
a Cavs fan. But during the regular season, there's just so many games. It's kind of like baseball. Like every game doesn't really matter that much, but you still kind of enjoy it.
It's kind of like every sport except football.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
too many games. Let's just get to the playoffs. That's where it actually matters and where everybody's actually trying. So in the NBA trade deadline, the big trade yesterday was the Brooklyn Nets trading James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers. And in exchange, they get a few players, but primarily the big one is Ben Simmons.
Well, I've heard of James Harden.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, you recognize his picture here?
No, the name.
Does this guy look familiar to you with the
The big
beard?
beard. That's
Yeah.
the beard?
So that is a big deal. And Nikki, if you haven't heard of Ben Simmons, he hasn't played this entire season.
Is he injured?
No.
personal reasons, he says.
I hate hearing that.
He's one of those.
No, is it like a vaccination thing?
No, it's just he just didn't like the team.
Yeah.
He didn't want
Yeah.
to play for them.
And the team didn't like him.
Nobody liked him there.
Fine.
So last season, the 76ers were considered one of the better teams in the league. They still are, I guess, this year as well, especially after this trade. But Ben Simmons is like their number 2 guy. He kind of initially thought he was the number 1 guy. Last year in the playoffs, though, he just sucked. He sucked. They're supposed to be their number 2 best player. Horrible.
He was terrible.
They could not have him out. Like the last 5 minutes of the game, couldn't even have him on the court because he'd miss free throws.
Really?
If they fouled him. So,
well, maybe it was just an off season.
yeah.
It was bad.
That was like the final nail in the coffin. And so it all last off season and then into this year, it was like, are they going to trade Ben Simmons? And does anybody even want him?
But did James
And
Harden
they
wanna
want
be
more than
traded?
people are willing to give up.
He
Yes,
also
yes.
So
wanted
he
to.
silently
Yes.
he silently asked for a trade because he didn't know if he'd be able to get out or not. And he didn't want to create a lot of drama with the team, so he kind of silently asked for a trade, which ended up almost being worse because obviously all of his teammates were caught a little bit off guard as he got traded away. So his teammates were very happy, but at the end of the day, it's the best move for everybody.
It is.
Because it
Gosh,
wasn't working
It
for
sounds
either
like
team.
yesterday was just a bad breakup.
It
and
was.
leading into Valentine's Day, you're like,
Well-
hey, did you know that this player hates his team passionately?
Yes.
Rather go play anywhere else.
And now we get potential for more drama because the Brooklyn Nets already. Ben Simmons goes to the Nets. He's not even the craziest person on the team.
Yep.
They
Kyrie's
already
already
have
there.
Kyrie Irving.
Sensitive Kevin Durant's there
Also,
too.
Kevin Durant, definitely.
Maybe they'll cancel each other out.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe all the crazy just feeds off each other, and
Sure.
nobody
I
else.
hope
You
so.
get on the court with them, and you're like, you're worried about them blowing on you and getting COVID on you, and also.
I love that so much. I can't wait to see him.
Oh yeah, but I think for Philadelphia, the deal works out for this year. They have a shot at one. They have a player that actually is going to play, so that's probably beneficial.
Well, that's a bonus there, isn't it?
and then for the Nets, I don't know if anything can help them, but at least Ben Simmons is now somewhere where maybe he'll be a little more happy.
Maybe
So
he'll
that
play.
was-
Who knows?
Maybe,
Maybe
yeah,
he'll
maybe
play. I
he'll
don't know.
play.
Maybe he'll be happy enough.
We'll see if Kevin Durant can appease him.
So that was the bigger names for the trade yesterday.
Yeah, so now we can go back to not talking about the NBA for at least another 2 or 3 months.
Well, thank you guys for at least mentioning from what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And now I know that it seems like a lot of NBA players just don't want to play.
Yes.
Precisely.
Well,
And they
that's-
just want to make sure they don't want to play for the right team.
They don't
Yeah.
want to play as much as we don't want to watch them.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot, RadioU.
And I was just sharing.
I've never seen this guy.
Nikki, a new TikTok to follow.
Aw, they always say, like, these are the people you're supposed to protect online.
Yeah.
Because they're so sweet. And normally, the sweeter you are on social media, the more people can kind of come after you.
Yeah, of course.
This guy
because they just can't handle your
stuff.
pure joy, your pure happiness. But that's this guy. His name is Sam Barski, and that's actually how you can find him, at Sam Barski.
And he's from Baltimore?
He's from Maryland. I don't know exactly where, although, probably the Baltimore area. But it's weird because I saw him. I joined TikTok, almost an entire year ago. And when I first joined, I would see his videos a lot, and I would watch them because they were kind of fun.
I've never seen him on the For You page.
They weren't too big of a deal, but I watched the videos, and he is from Maryland, and so he'd just go to places in Maryland that I remember going to as well. And but now I guess he's blown up a little bit. And so the reason that he is kind of got a following on TikTok is Sam Barski will go to all these tourist locations, and he knits sweaters that actually have in the sweater like the tourist location, and you can actually tell they're
you can tell what it is.
Well knitted enough that he does one that's like the U.S. Capitol building, and you can tell that it's the U.S. Capitol building.
I like the Golden Gate Bridge one.
Oh, that's a great one, isn't it? And so then he does a video where he green screens himself onto the place where he knit the sweater for, and then he'll tell the story about it. He's such a sweet guy.
He's so nice sounding.
I think he's married. He's got a wife. It's just such the most pure, nicest thing you can find. And I don't know how. Look how many sweaters he's done, Nikki. Just scroll through this. He's doing a sweater a day, it looks like.
I'm amazed.
An entire sweater.
I did tell Hudson, I did notice some of these are short sleeve sweaters.
Yeah.
And I'm a little weirded out
it's
by
an interesting
some
look.
of that.
Well, it's better for all weather,
I must not be a sweater person.
No, but would you wear one of these?
Oh, well, it kind of reminds me of the... no offense.
So, no, you're not going to wear it. I can tell.
Well, some of the style is if it was Christmas, it kind of reminds you of the ugly Christmas sweaters.
Yeah.
Big, bold things on the front of it.
Yeah, right. They're very attention grabbing.
They are, but they're so cute. He sounds so sweet and nice.
I would wear one of these.
Let's not ruin this guy.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Don't break him.
No. I think he's been doing this long enough that he's got a following of people that will take care of him.
Knitting has kind of been bigger since people stay at home now. And there are a couple of other TikTokers who knit stuff.
Yeah.
But they're all younger, hotter.
Oh, come on. Why are you being so mean to Sam Bars? You're the person I have to protect him from.
No, wait, I wasn't done yet. So I feel like they get all the promotion. And I've never seen this guy, but the guy who knits the hats when he's riding the subway.
Yeah.
I see him all the time.
Okay.
But this guy seems super sweet and amazing. And I wish he would have, more people need to know him.
Maybe that should tell us something. That the TikTok algorithm thinks you want to see the young hot people knitting, and it thinks although I haven't seen this guy for a while, it thinks I want to see the nice sweet people knitting.
It's only because you're from that
have
area.
a real talent. And man, have you seen? He's got a Camden Yards baseball sweater. Mm-hmm. Get me a Fenway Park sweater, Sam. I will wear it for you all the time.
So that's Sam Barski, and he's that's a cool way to say it, a knitting artist. And he's becoming popular again.
It seriously is art
on TikTok.
I just don't know how he makes so many.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Is it cookie time finally?
It's cookie time. Do these not smell so great?
So these are in honor of Oreo's 110th birthday, which makes me ask, what did they do 10 years ago when it was their 100th birthday?
Yeah, I don't remember, right?
There's something for every year. It's our 108th. It's our 109th.
So these are chocolate confetti cake Oreos. They have what looks kind of glitter on top of the Oreo cookie. And then if you look, they're sparkly. And then if you look in the cream inside, it's got that same whatever they're using for sparkles.
Yeah. And I think there's some, what is it, sprinkles in it too.
Look inside. That's the chocolate cake.
Yeah, there's a little bit of chocolate in there too.
there's
So I
two
guess
layers.
we're looking at what they're trying to recreate as a chocolate cake with like sprinkle icing, I guess.
Yes.
All right.
This could be good. So Oreo is celebrating their birthday.
So are we. And we're happy to be invited.
You got to understand, Hudson's just been waiting all. You
Yeah.
want to?
For
Should
so
we wait
long.
a little longer?
Yeah, maybe we should wait to the end of the break to try
Maybe,
it.
Yeah.
maybe let Isaiah and I try it first.
That way you can, off of our facial recognition, you can tell.
You guys don't get it. I've been not eing a lot of stuff for a long time, so I can wait another
You've been
couple
on
minutes.
a diet for like 4 weeks.
A month.
It's been a long time to you. Well, what do we think of the chocolate confetti cake Oreos?
Icing, very good.
What do you think about the chocolate part inside with the normal Oreo icing inside?
Oh man, these are good.
You like it?
These are pretty good. A lot of times you have the specialty Oreos, and it's just like, this isn't quite as good. It's still fine, even if it's pretty good, but it's not as good as just getting a classic Oreo. This is pretty comparable.
Yeah.
To me, though, I feel like it tastes more like a classic Oreo, and then you get a tiny aftertaste of the chocolate cake with the inside layer from that. But it's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's what I prefer, though. I don't like when they get like super crazy and the flavor's wild. I like it. I like the regular Oreo. So this is just kind of like a little bit of like a variant of that, which makes it like I would be able to eat multiple of these. I would be able to finish an actual box of these.
That's good.
These are going to be tempting.
How long has it been since we've had a normal Oreo?
Like a normal one?
I can't even tell you.
Like since I ate one
Yeah.
last night. I eat Oreos and milk for dinner. Not for dinner, before bed every night.
Of course you do.
I am disappointed.
Hudson is not allowed to have anything.
No, not Oreos. That's for sure.
These are good.
I am disappointed. Isaiah brought up right before we started that he forgot to get milk.
Oh, to go with
bring milk
But
for all of us.
forgot. We didn't even discuss it.
Because
we didn't act like we wanted
you're
it.
the milk guy, so we just figured you would just have that locked down.
So this morning you were like, "Oh, Isaiah probably brought in milk for today."
I was thinking that.
No, you
I was
did
thinking,
not. You never thought that.
Isaiah is so focused on milk in his life that he's not even
true.
going to forget.
But if you don't
I'm
say-
surprised you just don't have a stash of milk here.
I would
constantly.
love to have a gallon. I did have a gallon here for a while that I just brought one day, but then I drank it all, so that's how it goes. I don't know if other people were drinking it or not. I don't think they were. I think it was just solely me.
For some reason, I think if you put a gallon of milk in the fridge, it's usually safe from everybody.
Yeah.
You need to not assume, though, Hudson, so speak up next time.
I know what happens when I assume.
Uh-huh.
I let you down. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, the Oreo 110th birthday chocolate confetti cake ones, those are good.
Well, hold on real quick, guys. Do you want to try just the icing?
Oh, the inside?
That's what I've been doing
inside?
every time. You guys have been. You've been eating the whole thing.
I'm going to let you try that. Yeah, you eat the whole Oreo.
Yeah, I just do the icing and then because the outside's the same, so I just like eat
Pretty
a little bit
much.
of the cracker, but the icing's the good part.
Are you going to throw the outside away?
What? I'm not gonna throw it away. Maybe. Because if it's not milk, the outside just isn't that good to me. I don't know
come
why.
on.
The actual cookie. I don't know. Is this a cookie?
Take it
What
home.
is this? What is this?
It's a cookie?
It's a cookie.
Well, it's just not that good to me. The icing is the good part.
Because you're supposed to eat it with the icing.
Well, listen, no. You are not. When you eat an Oreo, you break it open and you eat the icing
No.
first. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
That's what I do if there's milk.
Text in, people.
No.
I know everybody's gonna agree. You break it open, you eat the icing first, and then you just kind of snack on the little
If
cookie.
there's milk, but
it's
we
a-
don't have milk, so we just eat it all together. It's better together.
See, if I had
wait.
milk, I would dip the whole thing in and then eat it because it would
Well,
make
why
the
would you
cookie
eat the whole
soft.
thing together anyways,
because it
then?
would make this soft. It's different when it's hard. Nobody likes these hard.
Oh my gosh.
Isaiah, I can't. It's a cookie. You eat the cookie
Isaiah
all put
No.
together.
Hates Oreos.
No, I eat Oreos every night. There's a certain way you're supposed to eat them. Like everybody that's probably texting me right now. Oh my gosh, Isaiah, you're so right.
Oh,
Text
look
in
at it.
8772
Look at the
Radio. You
text.
look at
There's
them.
nothing.
Look at
There's-
them. They're
it's just
piling
empty.
in. I
It's
can see
empty.
so many texts.
I think you're the weird one here.
No, I'm not the weird one. Everybody breaks them open and eats the icing first. It's a fact.
No.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but you're
Nobody
saying
eats
you're
the
breaking
cookie.
them open, eating the icing, and not even eating the
No,
outside.
I will eat the outside, but right now I'm just not. It's 7:30 in the morning. Like I'm not in the mood to be eating these right now.
You're just going to throw that away.
So you can eat
Yes.
them for dinner, but not for breakfast.
You know, let's just take a break, guys, all right?
Yeah.
And don't let it hurt our feelings, hurt
Why
people.
don't, you know
hurt.
what? Why don't you just get out of the room, and then whether you eat the Oreo cookie part or throw it in the garbage. We
That's
won't
your
know.
business.
Listen,
yeah, we don't need to know.
Just wait till people start agreeing. I can't wait to hear all the icing. You eat the icing first. Who cares about this little wafer? That's what this is. It's a little wafer.
It's
that
trash.
Nobody cares about. It's the icing that matters.
All right. Well, thank you for. It couldn't have just been about the cookie.
No,
could it?
The
we
cookie's
can't
good,
just
though.
have a nice birthday
Oreo's
celebration.
good, though.
We're ruining Oreo's birthday.
The birthday cake is good. It's good.
Just not good enough to eat the cookie.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We did a Riot food fight. We tried the Chocolate Confetti Cake Oreos to celebrate Oreo's 110th birthday.
I feel like our food fight has turned into a real fight.
Yeah, it
And
actually has. It lives up to its name.
Isaiah just every so often throws things out there that he thinks everybody does, but we are on the other side going, no one does it.
No, everybody
So-
does that. They're just no one's texting in saying they do that, which is so weird that nobody's saying that. But I know there's listeners. They're like, well, Isaiah, you're right. But if I text in, it'll prove that you're right, so they don't want to text in.
And they're afraid
okay.
of them being ridiculed as well, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Explain it, because every night you have an Oreo.
Yeah.
But you say that you take the cookie part off the Oreo, you eat the inside,
Yeah.
and you don't always eat the outside.
Well, it goes like this. If I have milk, I will eat the entire cookie. I will dip the whole thing in there because it gets nice and soft. But if I don't have any milk, then I'll break it open, eat the icing, the good part.
And leave the cookie.
And I'll still sometimes eat the cookie. Will I always eat the whole cookie? It
It's
just depends.
the cookies are right there.
I've
without
eaten,
the inside.
I've eaten 3 of the 4. I've eaten 3 of the 4 like little wafer things. It's just a lot, like just the straight chocolate. I'm not like a huge like chocolate guy, and so
Now you're gonna make it try to sound grown up, aren't you?
how's that making it sound grown up? I don't really like.
Chocolate is a little too much for me.
It is. This right here, no one, if they sold this right here,
Yeah.
no one would buy this. Nobody would buy this.
Yeah, he's
True.
probably,
It's the
I'm
truth.
probably
It's the
right
truth.
about that.
Who would
Probably
buy
right
just
about
this?
that.
Nobody.
Then why
Nobody
do
would
you
buy
take
just
them
this.
apart?
Hang on.
Because.
Hang on, let me read you some text messages, okay?
Yeah, let me see what they're saying.
So Aaron says Isaiah's wrong. I eat the whole cookie with or without milk, no separation. Brian says Isaiah proves every time there's a food fight, he's basically a grown 3-year-old.
Thank you,
It's
Brian.
so true. There's children I know in my life
That are better behaved.
that will take apart the Oreo and
For
eat the
food.
inside and will throw the Oreo part of the garbage.
Well, Dee had a good point. Why don't you just dip it in coffee? That could be
that
better.
would be something I would try. I would try that.
You could have gotten the Rice Krispie Treat creamer.
I thought about that too. It's
That's
like
an
maybe we'll just
idea.
pour some creamer and I'll just do it in there.
So we were trying the confetti chocolate cake Oreo birthday cookies. Angela said, I don't break them apart. I just eat them. And Aaron says, yeah, that's weird, Isaiah. Janet says, just eat the whole Oreo still in sandwich form, dipped in milk if you want. And Jason says, Isaiah is totally wrong. You eat the frosting first to get it out of the way for the real good part, the crunchy cookies.
Nobody agrees with that. Nobody agrees with that, Jason. Nobody.
I don't know. I think Jason is pushing back a little farther than even I. But I just think if you don't like the outside on its own, then don't peel the thing apart.
But he did say if milk's there, then you just dunk the whole thing for the entire experience.
Yes,
Or
yes.
you could just put a stack of Oreos in a cup, pour milk over that stack of Oreos, and then grab a spoon, go to town.
That's a good
That's a
idea.
good way to do it.
Yeah.
I want us
Either
to
way.
stop using words like everyone,
Yeah.
all people, because I think we proved that is not the case.
Everyone doesn't eat them the way that I do, but there are people that do that between the ages of 7 and 11.
Those are the strange. Yeah, those are children and strange grown-ups.
So Katie says that's why I only eat the double stuffed ones, because that can help tone down the chocolate.
Yes.
If you don't like that, that's a great point.
Exclusively get double stuffed. If you don't get the double stuff, then I would never just buy the regular. I literally won't buy them. If I go to the store and they don't have double stuff, which they didn't a couple weeks ago, I just didn't buy it.
That's what stopped you.
Did you know?
That's where I drew the line. That's where I draw the line. I won't buy it if it's not double stuffed
still
because I need the
think
icing. I need the icing.
I still think it's funny. You're like, what does Isaiah have every night before bed? Oreos.
Oreos and milk.
Oreos and milk.
Would you be happier if you could just get a tub of the stuff?
The inside stuff?
Yeah,
No,
like literally stuff.
No, I would not just get the icing. Is that what
No?
you're asking me? Just the
Yeah,
icing? No,
uh-huh.
I'm not like. It's not like I think the icing's that good. I just think without milk, the wafers just aren't really that like. They don't really taste that good to me without the milk.
Hudson, it's too much for him.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Again, now he's gone from trying to sound like a child to an adult. The stuff is too much.
It is.
But I'll eat it on its own instead of eating everything together.
The wafers are too much by themselves. They're too much. But I don't ever eat Oreos like this because I always have milk at my house. I never don't have milk, so I never have to eat them this way.
Which makes it even more egregious that you didn't bring it today.
Listen, nobody told me to. Nobody told me to bring milk.
We don't eat Oreos the way you do.
You never even asked me for the milk. You never asked for the milk.
Okay,
so you can't ask me today, act like I was supposed to bring in something you didn't ask. I didn't bring you lunch either, if you're going to ask me that.
Oh my gosh, I told you.
You're getting very defensive over here.
Has become a real fight.
It has.
So guys, shake on it and just go back to your sides.
I'm not mad. I'm fine without the milk. I just think if you wanted if it's so integral to your Oreo eating process, I don't understand why you forgot.
I was upset when I walked in. I was upset. I was like, dang it, I didn't get milk. It was so obvious. I eat Oreos and milk every night. Didn't even bring the milk. I was a little upset with that.
Right.
Disappointed. Next time we do Oreos,
we're having it.
There might be milk if I remember.
Let's hands extended and shake on it.
All right,
okay?
we're all good. We're all
need
friends.
To shake it off.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Why don't we all just eat another Oreo?
Okay, well, no, then he'll do the same thing.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? Radio U.
And you said something a moment ago, Nikki, that we need to hold on to and remember it for everything we ever talk about from now on.
Okay.
You said we can't say everyone. We can never say everyone anymore about anything.
I think it's because it's an escalating word.
Yeah.
So Isaia was like, no, everyone does it this way. And then you're like, no, everyone does not.
No.
So I feel like if you're trying to win an argument, if you try to do a blanket statement that everyone is for your stance on it, then it's going to go bad.
It knocks down your argument right there.
It does.
You're just giving the opponent already a way to defeat you. Well, and it's just not true because everyone, it's never true. Like, for example, you could say, and it would almost seem correct on the surface to say everyone wears their seatbelt. Turns out, not even close. Mm-hmm. In fact, about 10% of, actually 11% in a recent study found that 11% of Americans do not use seatbelts while driving.
So doesn't your car beep until you put it in?
Yeah, right. If you're actually in the driver's seat, unless you have a car from the 80s, I'm pretty sure it just dings never ending.
I thought that it's been that many years that
it seriously has, I think.
The drivers or the passenger side, one, it just makes that noise.
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you, but you put enough stuff in the passenger seat of your car that it weighs enough that it thinks that there's a person. Or this happened with my dog. If she's up in the front seat sometimes, and it'll be like, hello, shouldn't you buckle? And so sometimes you know what I do, and maybe this is what people do, which if you're going through all this trouble, you might as well just buckle up.
Oh, you pre-buckle?
But you buckle it behind or whatever's there or whatever, so that'll shut up. So yeah, if you're one of the 10% of people that drives without your seatbelt, do you just buckle it behind you?
Well, thanks for telling them how to get around.
Yeah, right. But you already have it buckled, so why not just pull the strap over you instead of behind you? It feels like that'd be more comfortable. But yeah, 11% of people admit they do not drive with seatbelts. It says that teen drivers are the least likely to use a seatbelt. Mm-hmm. And maybe it depends on who is riding with them. So I guess the idea is maybe if you're driving with your mom, then you would put on your seatbelt because you wouldn't want to let her down. But then if you're with your buddies, you're just like, it's the Wild West out here. We're not going to get into an argument. 4 guys riding in the same car getting into a... did I say argument? We're not going to get into an accident.
Yes.
That never happens, right? Young guys crashing.
If there's one who wants to wear his seatbelt, then
he feels out of place.
So it's 1 in 10 Americans, 11% do not use their seatbelts.
Now, this is crazy, though. 21% of people do not strap their children in.
Aw.
That's insane.
Guys, we're just big kids. We got to strap ourselves in, too.
Right. We got to strap ourselves, strap in the kids. Everybody should be. Because I know, I get the idea with the seatbelts of, I'm not going to get into an accident. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean somebody else won't get into an accident with you even if you're so confident with yourself.
Aw.
And you don't want to, it'll help you. So all of that said, that is a new survey is out. And maybe that explains why Uber has a new policy that their app is going to start dinging as well.
Oh, if you
get in a car with somebody and you don't buckle your seatbelt, I guess Uber doesn't want that kind of liability on their hands if you're getting into the back of somebody's car and then they get into an accident and then you're like, oh, I got a neck injury. Well, if you didn't buckle in, you can't sue them, right? Yeah.
The driver's app will issue a series of beeps, and the rider's app, so the one on your phone, will send you a push notification reminding you to buckle your seatbelt.
Yeah, so you gotta buckle up. It's for safety.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Now, yes, that's what I want right now. Big game picks. Who we got in the Super Bowl? Nikki, Isaiah, who wants to go first?
I think I'd like to hear you two, so then I can just copy one of yours.
Right.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yeah, that works. So for me, I think that the Rams are going to win.
Oh, you do?
I think they're going to beat the Bengals. I think the final score is going to be 34-31.
Really, that
31?
high scoring?
I think I mean, both offenses are very good. I think the only way that it's close is if the Bengals are able to put up a lot of points. There's no way they're going to win in a low-scoring game, I don't believe.
Well, see,
I didn't want you to pick them, so now what am I supposed to do?
Why?
My own score?
You wanted agreement from us?
I did.
So that you could also agree? Well, so you make some more compelling argument.
Well, what do you say then?
I think it's going to be lower scoring. I think that the Rams, they will feel like they should have won. Probably because I think they're going to have more success. Like, you're going to see
bigger
the Rams.
Plays.
Yeah, you're going to see them get more yards, look a little better on offense for most of the game. However, I think the Rams might be a little more tempted to go for it on fourth down instead of taking the field goal. I think they also are more susceptible to turning the ball over, where the Bengals, I think they will do what it takes to just keep it close until the end. And then at the end of the game, I trust the Bengals. Something in Bengals like 23-20.
Yeah,
23-20.
23-20.
All righty.
Yeah.
Now what happens if we get it right?
But then when you look
at
the stats at the end of the game and you're going to be like, how did the Rams not win? Is it because Matthew Stafford threw 3 interceptions? It'll probably be, and they didn't kick a field goal when they should have, probably something like that.
Well, there'll be an envelope full of dollar bills when we come in on Monday to see.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Make it interesting.
It's just $2 bills. It's not much.
Yeah, of course.
I'm so excited. It can't be that much. Well, I want the Bengals to win, but I don't have I don't want to.
You gotta have analysis.
I don't want to, put a score out there.
You don't want to put pressure on them. Like, that would just be a lot.
Well, and you know what? It's a lot of pressure offering up your picks, because then people might follow them. And then they might blame you if you're wrong, if they're wrong. So,
I can't wait because we're going to come in on Monday and people are going to be texting in, Hudson, you lost me hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, right.
My only picks will be the party picks for what is it?
What's your prediction for how much we all eat?
That'll be worth some money when we come back in.
Do you have, Nikki, I don't know. How many players can you name?
From the NFL total?
Smart.
At least, I want an MVP pick, too. I want an MVP pick.
Oh, an MVP?
Yeah.
I think that if the Rams win, it's going to have to be Matthew Stafford. I think who it's going to be.
You think?
Oh, for sure. If they win, there's no way you don't give it to him just because he's been through so much being in Detroit and coming over here.
Yeah.
If they win the game, I think it's either going to be him, Cooper Kupp, or Aaron Donald would be the only 3.
Yeah.
Realistically, they're going to give it to the quarterback, so I think it'll be Matthew Stafford.
He would be the feel-good story. It's hard to go against Joe Burrow, but if I'm going to go somebody kind of off the beaten path, I think the Bengals might have some good success running the ball, so I'll say Joe Mixon, the running back. Yeah.
That's a good
If you just
choice.
want to go off the beaten path a little bit, to say something that's not so obvious.
I think the big thing, though, is when we come in on Monday, we got to bring on the leftovers. And I know people are making food, so don't be shy bringing those in on Monday. That way we all can just we're going to be so tired on Monday after the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to stay up too late, eat too much food. So on Monday, if we have some extra snacks here, it probably could up the morale a little bit.
Well, hair of the dog that bit you, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday, you can send in and text us because we'll get them for Monday. If you just text 877 to RadioU, if you have a nice spread out, just
You can text that, and if you have a prediction that you want to text in, and then if you're dead on, we'll give you a little pub on Monday too.
We won't give you anything actually, but we will give you a little thumbs up.
The shout out.
Yeah, we'll just shout out.
Look at Derek. He really had this game nailed down. He had you know how some people get premonitions? He's one of them.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens on Sunday and how wrong or right any of us were.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
Have you seen this video? This is it's pretty amazing. So it takes place in a Chase Bank. We have a woman who, as I understand it, she just put in a cash deposit, like with the teller at the desk. And evidently, somehow it comes up that her deposit hasn't really made her account go into the positive.
Oh,
it's just paid back overdraft fees. So her account is still in the negative. And if you were in that situation, I can understand how you would be upset.
Yeah, so if you go and put $100 in, think, I now have $100.
Yeah.
Well, if you had $50 of like overdraft stuff, you only have $50 left.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
So she probably wanted the whole amount to still be there.
Yep, and
especially if you're fighting the fees and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But they went ahead and took your money.
So she does escalate the situation, though. This is where it gets crazy because once she finds out that her money just went to pay back overdraft fees, she hops up on the counter of the bank and starts shouting and whatever, getting all upset. She jumps not just onto the counter, but then she jumps back into the, teller's area and starts stomping around and looking for stuff.
Yeah.
And her pants are falling down.
I see that
That's it's not a good look whatsoever.
Listen.
I get being upset.
Yeah.
Have you ever been charged overdraft fees? Not good.
But if you're going to be a part of a situation where someone's going to film you, you got to make sure you're pulling your pants up.
You got to wear a belt.
You do.
Because no matter what else is going on, it's just making you look like the fool.
Yeah.
And I understand that overdraft fees, hey, a lot of us have been there. I've been there. But the overdraft fees, it feels like a massive scam. But your pants dropping around your ankles, and I mean, hers don't get all the way there that we see. And then that jumping behind the bank counter, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Well,
now you're going to have to pay court fees, too.
It's impressive because the Chase Bank has like the plexiglass up.
Yeah.
So she jumps up on the counter, walks around the plexiglass, and gets to the back area where all the workers are. So you can't do that.
No, definitely not. But man, it's tough when you're scraping the bottom of your bank account, and then all of a sudden the bank is like, and we'll just take this.
But you have to be clear-headed enough to know that it's tough, but you're just about ready to make it way tougher.
Yeah. Oh, this is several orders of magnitude worse than just overdraft fees.
Go outside, let out a yell, scream maybe once, and then collect yourself. Go back in and have a conversation about what's going on.
You can find a new bank.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We brought in our resident love expert.
I'm an expert of everything, apparently. I'm an expert of everything. If he bring me in for something, he's like, well, it's the expert of love,
you just
exercise, whatever it is.
I'm just trying to justify you in the eyes of the listener.
That way, when I disagree with you guys, then you're like, well, he's the expert, so maybe he does know, right?
I guess we should defer to you since you're the love expert.
Yeah.
But I have a survey I want to question you on, love expert.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
And that's making Isaiah uncomfortable.
Okay. Okay. Isaiah,
how about we just call
as the
him
one of us who's not married,
you can call me whatever you want.
I want to get your opinion on this. We have a survey here of 2,000 Americans, and it says that 72% of them still get butterflies when they see their partner, and 3 out of 4, 75%, say that meeting their significant other was love at first sight.
Aww.
What do we think of love at first sight here?
And 100% you'd say you're tired of each other. That's real couples right there.
What do you guys think of love at first sight, though?
Yeah, I guess.
You think?
I feel like, at least in my friend circle, the more you look into it or you try to have like that Hallmark moment with someone, the less realistic it actually is. Mm-hmm. And then they're the ones that always break up the fastest with it because it's just not, again, realistic.
Yeah. I want to get your opinion too, but I just think that once you're with somebody, you're going to say it's love at first sight, even if that's not true. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know a lot of people who hate each other at first.
Yeah,
and
right.
you move
Exactly.
into being like friends, and then you're like, oh wait, I think I love you, and then that's it.
So you're like, in your mind, you're making it think thinking to yourself it was love at first sight, but everybody else remembers you didn't like him at first. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 0% of the time is love at first sight. It's a big 0. There's never a time. It's the same thing every time. The girl, every time, like the guy has to like prove himself. She never right away like, oh my gosh, I think I love him. Like that never happens. 0% of the time do they ever say love at first sight is real. I just think these are couples that want to make their relationship seem like they were so perfect, you know? Like, oh my gosh, I loved him right away. He was so quirky and goofy. Oh man, he was the greatest. When in reality, they were like, that guy? You think I'd be with him? Are you joking? He's so goofy. Like, there's no chance.
This is why we call him the love expert right here.
Or sometimes, you might think the other person's just hot and you're like, oh, let's go out on a date. But then once you get to know each other, love is sometimes a little longer down the road.
But if you just think they're hot, what do we know? We know that's not love, right? That doesn't mean it's love. So love at first sight, ahead of Valentine's Day, we want to tell you garbage.
Debunked.
Yep.
Will not happen.
Not going to happen.
Don't look around. If you're going to a restaurant on Valentine's Day, don't be looking around trying to fall in love with somebody because it's not going to happen.
Look at somebody you've already seen.
Well, what was that other study that was a while ago where they said most people, you end up finding that you do love someone ends up like it was a friend.
Yeah.
And you never looked at them before and you're like, wait a minute. And then one day something just clicks.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's definitely you have a much better chance of actually sticking with somebody if the first time you met each other, it wasn't a romantic situation. It was just you were friends or it was just casual or whatever. And then it wound up to, hey, you want to go on a date sometime, as opposed to, especially with online dating stuff, where you just, the first time you're meeting somebody, it's a date. That sometimes doesn't end so well.
Well, on this study, they also say perfect date nights, number one, movies, 47%.
Yeah, where we don't have to talk to each other. Perfect.
Precisely,
Perfect.
yeah.
This is what I love.
It does. Dinner, 46%. At 2, tied. Talking, that's intense. Number 3, and then dancing, that's also awkward at number 4. And then number
dancing.
5 is a relaxing date night.
You're not a dancer?
No, I'm not much of a dancer in public, no. Mainly just in the mirror by myself.
Yeah.
Not so much out in public. But I think my biggest takeaway from this is just circle back to the good old boy you friend zoned like 3 years ago and be like, do I like him? I don't know. Do I like him? You do. You like him.
Yeah. There's Isaiah's love advice.
That's what I'd say. Circle back to good old
Isaiah.
boy. He's been waiting for years. Give him the shot, you know?
And he'll still be waiting, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know
All
what? He's
people-
not going to go away.
All people heard was the love advice is just circle back around.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.